Alright guys, welcome back to the Magical Magikarp, and today we're going to look at the best Pokemon booster box from the collector investor standpoint. And yes, you can be both. Pokemon is for everybody. And we're going to look at the last three Pokemon eras: Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet, and Mega Evolution. And today's angle is going to be simple. I'm not just going to talk about which set is most popular. I think we can all figure that out. But we're going to ask which booster box has the best chance to still go up from here today in the summer of 2026. Because there's a difference between a great set and a great buy for a holding or an investing standpoint. So before we get started, this is not financial advice. This is hobby market analysis, so to say. And Pokemon sealed product can go up, down, or sit flat for a very long time. And if you've been around for a while, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you're collecting sealed booster boxes with an investor mindset, you might need to look for a few things. Number one, the current price. Number two, the chase cards within that set. The collector demand, and also future liquidity. How easy is it to sell or move the product and exchange it for something else in the future? So number one, let's start with Sword and Shield era. Okay, I know what you're thinking. The obvious one is Evolving Skies, but do you have $2,500 just sitting around for just one booster box? I definitely don't. And if you do, you don't need to watch this channel. You literally can buy anything and it will go up with enough time. But if you want to play it a little more strategically, let's talk about why it's not Evolving Skies. It's the obvious choice right now. It has the Evolutions as Rayquaza and of course Umbreon V Max. But here's the issue: Evolving Skies is already kind of like out of the hands or out of the realm of possibility for a lot of buyers. And the booster boxes are around, like I mentioned, $2,500 already, and the Moonbreon itself is $1,900. Wow, $1,900 card out of a $2,500 box. I mean, it makes sense to me. And if you're lucky to pull a PSA 10 copy of a Moonbreon, it's over $4,000, right? The math right there makes so much sense. But from potential gain standpoint, I gotta be honest, Evolving Skies could keep climbing, but you're already buying the box after the market has, I mean, it was the obvious winner. It's grown so much, right? In 2021, you could have bought the box for $90 and you could sell it for $2,500 these days. But let's look at it from a percentage standpoint. If you need it to double it, you know, it's a lot harder for a $2,500 box to hit $5,000 versus when you bought it $90 and it went to $200. It was a lot easier back then. And let's be honest, the momentum behind it is, most of it's kind of gone, and there's a good chance it'll get a little bit more at 30th, right? And maybe at the 35th anniversary, I could definitely see this box go up to 5,000, 6,000, maybe, if it's crazy enough, maybe 10,000. So let's look past Evolving Skies. A great alternative, Lost Origins. It's around $700, and the big chase is that Giratina V Altar. How can we deny that, right? If you pull that card's about $700 raw, and if you get it in a PSA 10, about $3,000. That's pretty close to $4,000 if you ask me. That's 25% off, but the booster box itself is $700 compared to a $2,500 box. That gives Lost Origin a clear collector investor option right there. It has legendary Pokemon, dark artwork, which I love, strong sealed demand, the box looks great, awesome chase cards within the trainer gallery and within the set itself. And the upside is so much more. It is much easier to go from $750 to $1,500 or even more. Another alternative for Sword and Shield, and a lot of people already have this on their radar, No, it's not any of the other Trainer Gallery sets. It would have to be Chilling Reign. It has awesome alternate art lineup with all the legendary Galarian birds. It has Blaziken, it has Snorlax, it has so much more to it that I feel like it is such a sleeper opportunity. It's definitely not as loved as Fusion Strike, and let's admit, Chilling Reign is only half the price of Fusion Strike, and Fusion Strike had its run, and for those of you who has been around since 22 or 21, they were fire selling Fusion Strike and Chilling Reign for less than $90. Alright, so now let's move on to Scarlet and Violet. The era is more interesting because boxes are pretty expensive, but they're not as mature as Sword and Shield. So let's start with the obvious winner, Paldea Evolved. It's a huge collector box. It shot up already, in my opinion, with the last growth cycle. Obviously, you have the wonderful Magikarp. Booster boxes are $500, and the Magikarp Illustration Rare. And remember, it's just an Illustration Rare, guys. It's not even a a special Illustration Rare. And it's already around $350 to $400. It's a strong set. It's okay, in my opinion. I personally don't fully understand why it's gone up that much. I can't believe a Magikarp card is that popular. I love Magikarp, can't you tell? But there are better options. So I would say Paldea Evolved is in a similar situation like Evolving Skies in Sword and Shield, just not to that level yet, due to the maturity and the popularity, right? There's no Evolving Skies in Scarlet and Violet. Let's all admit that. But let's talk about another set. We have Twilight Masquerade. I think it's a strong set. Booster boxes are around mid 300s, and you got the Greninja EX Special Illustration Rare. For it to be $380 to $400, it's already more expensive than the booster box. Let's admit it, Greninja is one of the more popular Pokemon, not as popular as some of the other Pokemon we went over, but it's definitely up there. Next set we want to talk about that really highlights Scarlet and Violet, and it's going to be Temporal Forces. No, I'm kidding. Temporal Forces isn't going to be on any top list of anything, in my opinion. Destined Rivals. Destined Rivals, I know a lot of people shit on it, saying it is a mid set. I don't believe that. I think it is one of the strongest sets, if not the strongest regular release in Scarlet and Violet. Not just because it is a Team Rocket set, but let's look at some of the metrics, right? The booster box itself, it's been dropping in the summer slump. You get it as low as $450. Obviously, you might have to pay tax and shipping on top of that. But, maybe around a little above $500. And I'm not just going to talk about Team Rocket's Mewtwo, but let's look at the raw numbers there. It's been selling for about $400 to high fives, and already there, that's the cost of the booster box. Beyond that, you also have some really strong special illustration rares, such as Cynthia's Garchomp. You have Team Rocket's Moltres. You have some really awesome special illustration rares. I was gonna say Altards, too old, but I love these cards from Destined Rivals. But I don't think that is the right box to buy when it comes to opportunity right now. So let's move to Surging Sparks. Surging Sparks is around $300, and I feel like it's still dropping at the moment. The Booty Chew, the Pikachu EX SIR, is around $300 to $300 plus, right in that range, and that's already the cost of the booster box. With Surging Sparks, you also have a super popular chase Pikachu, probably the most popular within the franchise. You have super strong liquidity because it's not the most expensive box when it comes to the ones we just talked about. And what does that mean? It means it's an easier entry point. So this is the great counter argument to like an Evolving Skies. This is a fraction of that cost, and you have some really strong illustration rares, right? You have Latios, and then you also have Latias as a special illustration rare. I could be getting those mixed up right now in my head, but you have some very strong cards within this set, and for a very low barrier to entry. So it is not unexpected for a 300 box to get to 500 over a short amount of time, especially within 30th anniversary coming up. It would be a much stronger percentage than buying something that's already 500 or more, similar to like Destined Rivals, which had a really strong growth cycle. And I feel like right now it's kind of like time for everything else to catch up. So my pick for Scarlet and Violet, if you're looking at it from not just from a collector standpoint, because I'm a collector and investor, I think Surging Sparks is a strong pick for Scarlet and Violet. All right, now let's talk about Mega Evolution. The era's not even over, and we're getting some of the most historic, best stuff when it comes to sets to ever come out. And I'm not just talking about base set, which was the best base set, in my opinion, to have ever come out. And then we had Phantasmal Flames. Oh my God, Phantasmal Flames is such a fantastic choice as a collector. And that's going to be the first one we're going to talk about, because as a collector, it has the best not just Mega Charizard, the best Charizard art card we've ever had. Period. Hands down. You can fight me on that, and I'm going to win, because no crap, that Mega Charizard X special illustration rare is the best card. You have Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, and a Mega Charizard X all within the same card. And if you look at the numbers, the booster box of Phantasmal Flames is around $435, and the Mega Charizard X is $830 raw. But because Charizard is so obvious, let's look at history. Every Charizard set has done historically well, despite what others think. I don't think Obsidian Flames is a great set. It's a very shallow set. And in hindsight, it doesn't have the best Charizard card, but man, did it grow. And it was cheap. It was cheap back then. You could have got that set, I don't know, did it come out in 23 or something? I think you could get it for as low as $80 at one point. I think if you opened up like 4 booster boxes, you would have been close to mastering the set already. Maybe even 2 booster boxes. It is a very shallow set, and Phantasmal Flames is pretty close to that. It's very shallow, but man, that art takes it to a whole new level. Mega Evolution series becomes highly collectible long term. I would rather have exposure in the low 200 range than chase the Charizard box after it already became the obvious winner. So we're gonna look beyond Phantasmal Flames. This might be a hot take, but I would say Perfect Order. You could get it for less than $200 on Facebook Marketplace, and there's a better chance for it to go up to like 300, which is already a 33% increase. Correction, 50%. Granted, there's a little bit more risk there. You got to consider the amount that it's still within the printing window, right? That it's still within rotation, and also how much auxiliary product's going to be holding Perfect Order. It's a pretty good chance Perfect Order just won't get reprinted. Let's admit that. It's not the most popular set, but comparatively within the era, if you're just looking at pure numbers, Perfect Order is the right one to go to. And one more thing about Perfect Order I want to bring up. Comparatively with all its other sister sets within Mega Evolution, it is not the banger set, right? But if you were to look at within the history of Pokemon TCG, it's a good set. It's a decent set. So, without too much surprise, my collector investor pick within Mega Evolution era would have to be Perfect Order for right now. Alright, so out of everything we just went over, out of all these sets and I gave you my top pick from each era, which one would you buy? Because some of these are around the same, right? If I had $300 and it was between one from each era, if I had to choose, let's say $400 so I could include Chilling Reign, or $500. Okay, I don't even remember what I said anymore. But if I had to pick from each of these, if you can afford Chilling Reign, that's what I'd be getting. But if you look at Scarlet and Violet and Mega Evolution, because those top picks are roughly around the same price, I would go for Surging Sparks, guys. That's my top pick for this video. When it has the perfect balance of perfect opportunity, but it's not perfect order. I would get Surging Sparks. Surging Sparks is a better set than Perfect Order, in my opinion. With the amount of chase cards and the amount of popularity, it's got great box artwork that's being headlined by a popular Pokemon, Pikachu. You have the Booty Chew, and you have a bunch of other cards within the set that backs it up, whereas Perfect Order, not so much. So you have it, guys. That's my number one pick. If I had $300 to spend right now to buy booster boxes, you have Surging Sparks.